right, so we got the Imperium of Man. It's awesome. Let's go to those. Let's go.
Naturally.
Shout out the Pancreas. Shout out the Pancreas. No work. Let's go. Let's go.
Could I not? I'm a card-carrying Eldar fan. It's what I do. Whether or not the criticism I have is valid is irrelevant. It's in my blood. But sometimes it's best to just lay all your cards on the table. So here's me being honest. I think the Imperium is pretty great. Not in an in-universe sense, of course. It's abominable. But out of universe, the Imperium goes hard. You know, it's true, fellow Xeno fans.
Bro, like, let's keep it real, bro. Even though we know some freaky, eeky stuff goes down in the Imperium, we do know some diabolical, just freakster stuff go down in the Imperium. At the end of the day, without the Imperium, yo, that entire Warhammer thing, like, obviously it's already down bad, but, bro, Warhammer would legit, like, I think it would already crumble. Like, it would be over with, bro. Like, no, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, it would be like 1,000, like, atomic bombs going off at one time. It will legit be overkill. Like,
to be honest, the Imperium is what gets people into 40k. The faith of everyone in it, the gothic feel to everything, how unbelievably horrible it is, but in a cool way. It's interesting and appealing in just about every way you could want a wargame faction to be, and for all my ceases complaining about it, I figured it's only fair to finally say something nice about it. A nice, relaxed video about everything great about the Imperium.
Okay.
It's backwards technology, it's backwards attitudes, it's backwards ideas. All of the things about it in real life are horrendous and evil, but in the world of things that aren't real, the Imperium is nothing but banger after banger. In old lore it went hard, in new lore it still goes hard, and it just keeps going on and bringing people in to spend thousands on plastic. Let's go through some of those things that make it just great. And while the Imperium is pretty awesome, you know what else is awesome? Knowledge. And you know where you can get knowledge? Bread. The sponsor of today's video.
Hey man, shout out to Pancreas No Work. You know, hey, get that bread. I understand it. Let's go.
It's simple. Something everyone can agree the Imperium does well. Variety. Take a brief moment to imagine something in the real world. Could it be historical, could it be relatively modern? Chances are there's something in the Imperium that matches it. Alternatively, just think of any science fiction trope from the 1980s or earlier, and the Imperium probably has that too. Now, a naysayer might say that means there isn't an original bone in the Imperium's body, and in all fairness, yeah. But there's something I firmly believe that I'd like to share with you all. It doesn't really matter if something's original if it's awesome as hell. Besides, originality isn't something any 40k faction can accuse another of lacking.
True, and also at the same time, you know, sometimes, bro, the simple way is the best way. I feel like a lot of times we get caught up in, like, we get caught up in seeing, like, a bunch of people, like, you know, doing all these different things to try to, like, be creative or whatever, and there's nothing wrong with being creative. It's just I feel like a lot of us just overdo something, when in reality we just take, like, the simple way, and you know, we can just flourish doing the simple way, and this is very open-ended. This is, like, towards, like, anything, sports, art, music, bro, making videos. Like, sometimes we just take, like, the simple way to do it. You know, we don't have to overcomplicate everything. Now, obviously, like I said before, bro, there's some people who need to be all creative or whatever. Like, that's their stick, that's their way, whatever. We're not gonna, like, you know, I'm not gonna jump in front of their boat. But at the same time, I feel like for some of us, you know, like, it's okay to be original. It's okay to, like, it's okay to be simple, you know.
Key thing about the Imperium's variety is that it is an empty variety, at least not entirely. In some ways, yeah, I think it's fake variety. How many Space Marine chapters are described as being different from the rest because of how valiant, self-sacrificing, or brutal they are?
True.
Because if you had $1 for every lore video that opened with the Cock Blasters chapter differs from the rest.
The what blasters? What did you just say?
They are. Because if you had $1 for every lore video that opened with the Cock Blasters chapter differs.
Hey, Swiss, what's up, bro? It's been a long time. What's up, bro? What's up? What's up? Yeah, bring me the list. Yeah, we're not playing no games today. Bring me the list. Yo, Pancreas, no work, bro. Actually, bro, this is your first time being on the list. I mean, you know what? It's actually not that bad because Major Kill's on the list, like, what, 10 plus times? Yeah, Swiss, bring me the list. Major Kill. I'm sorry. Bro, I'm off one today. Yo, Pancreas, no work. You are now on the list. If any of you guys are new, I have a list of all the school threats, menaces to societies, just the freaky deakies, just the nasty nuisances, the diabolical deviants. I have a list of all those type of people on this list. This list right here, if your name, nickname, whatever, if any name associated with you makes it on this list, you will now be going to jail for life. You're never getting out. There's no bond. There's no bail. There's no special type of lawyer. Like, bro, like, there's no Perry Mason to come and help you out. No, it's GG's. When your name makes it on this list, you will now go to jail for life.
from the rest because of their brutality, you'd probably be a millionaire. But on the flip side of that coin, you have
Titus!
stories about Space Marines, you have stories about the Imperial Guard, you have stories about the Mechanicus, such as a battle, the goddamn Adeptus Arbites. All of those things are wholly different, and all of them are something you can read about and enjoy with the Imperium. The variety of stories isn't just with the sub-factions within it either. There's entirely different tones and genres of 40k books to read solely within the Imperium. The most common thing to find is probably bolter porn, which I know a lot of people will dismiss as action slop, but if you're in the mood for a story about human shoot alien with gun, then there's nothing wrong with it. But there's plenty of more nuanced stories as well. I was reading a Rogue Trader anthology a while back, and that's a fun mix of political drama, family drama, and of course action scenes. You want some comedy? Go get yourself a copy of Caiaphas Cain. Want to stick to the Imperial Guard but with a more serious and gritty atmosphere? Gaunt's Ghost has you covered. And hell, the codices themselves have plenty of cool lore and stuff to find within them. You don't even need to get your lore from stories and narratives. The lore can be easily digested through the rulebooks of the games. And you know, for all the fun lore channels like to have, remember that all that sweet lore is in service to a tabletop game. You want an endless horde of models to throw at your enemy? Imperial Guard. Want elite units that pound for pound surpass anything the enemy has to throw at you? Space Marines, or Custodes if you really want the elite of the elite. Want something in between those? Sisters of Battle, which are also great if you're a fan of the Imperium's religious aspects. Alternatively, the Imperial Knights, because sometimes you don't want tactics in your war game. Sometimes you just want to jam a Jaeger down someone's throat. And that is the absolute most bare-bones reasoning for going with any of those armies. Within those armies, you can do all sorts of mixing and matching to make them completely distinct from the armies of other players, even if you've got the same Imperial sub-faction.
But like, what if you like make like a combination of like different colors or whatever, but then turns out somebody did like the same combination as you? Like, do y'all get to like fight it out to see like who keeps like the color combination? Like, I'm gonna keep it real for what it is. Like, my imagination, like my creativity when it comes to fashion and colors, y'all, is unmatched. Like, there's nobody like in this world that can match to like my creativity. So like, if I somehow, some way, just by like just by like slight chance have the same design as somebody, like have the same like, you know, Warhammer design as somebody, can I like, you know, fight him and like, you know, knock him out for that design? Can I do that? Can I do that?
Guard can be entirely infantry if you don't mind spending several $1,000s, or you
I can do that, right?
On armor and artillery. Space Marines can rush into melee, focus on guns, or mix and match as your needs dictate. And just to make sure you're
bro, maybe this is just me, y'all, but like, you know, shout out to the Ultramarines, nothing but respect, y'all, but like, bro, like my army would be so just amazing and so cool, and they would look so drippy, bro. Like, bro, even the women on like the opposite team would just be blushing, like their face would be red, like, but like, bro, like the guys like from the opposite team, they'll get mad because the girls are just staring at us because we look so cool and so amazing and so popular that like it will just like cause the girls in confusion. It gets to a point to where like the dudes on the opposite team gotta take out their girls. They gotta like legit like, you know, get rid of their women because they feel like, oh, like dang, bro, they're really staring at King Indy's team so hard that they might betray us to try to go to that team. Like, dang, like, and I feel bad for the girls, you know, like shout out to all the beautiful women out there, but like, bro, it gets to a point like, you know, and I'm sorry if we're so dripped out and we look so good that, you know, that it basically ruins the trust between you and your faction, but you know, if you want to be in our team, just say so. You know, if you want our number and stuff like that, just ask us. Like, you know, like my team would be so just good looking that like it will legit cause mass confusion within factions.
Get the point, let's do a little mental exercise real quick.
What's up?
Imagine Warhammer 40k without any of the non-Imperial factions.
Okay.
No Xenos, no Chaos, none of that stuff.
Okay.
40k as a game would be just fine. There would still be multiple armies with vastly different playstyles to suit all sorts of tastes. As proof, I present to you the Horus Heresy. That game is pretty much entirely based around just Space Marines, and you can still get all sorts of different builds going within it. And all of this is solely from a rules variety. With modeling included, you can do pretty much anything. Because of its heavily fragmented nature, the Imperium has a leg up on other factions in this regard, much as it pains me to say it. Obviously, of course, there's the inspiration thing I was mentioning before, but even beyond that, think of how much you can homebrew with the Imperium. There's always making the classic homebrew Space Marine chapter, but look beyond that. The Imperium has roughly 1 million worlds, though that's really just the best estimate, and the idea that it has reliable information on every single one of those worlds is laughable. The Administratum is ass at what it does, does, you will not find good records in their halls. So here's an idea for you. Kit bash an army of guardsmen to hell and back with Necron, Tau, and Votann parts. Say they're using the rules for one of those armies, but in the lore of your dudes, they're an Imperial world who retained far more stuff from the Dark Age of Technology than most other worlds did. Alternatively, kit bash your army with bits and pieces from Age of Sigmar or Fantasy. Maybe you can run them as orcs, saying that their abysmal accuracy scores are because they're using vastly inferior tech to the rest of the Imperium, but they are.
See, I'm gonna keep it real. I look at this as a liability. Like you know, factions that have like, you know, big dragons or whatever, bro. Like, you may think that's a big plus or whatever, and you know, for some situations it can be. But for me and my just amazing, just swaggy, sexy squad, y'all, it wouldn't do nothing against us. As a matter of fact, if we had a dragon or a beast like this on our squad, bro, respectfully, y'all, we might have to just take it out ourselves. Bro, it will cause magic. It will cause mass distraction. Y'all, we're so just aura filled and just so like so amazing that like we have to hide ourselves. Like, bro, we pop up on people. Like, we sneak up on people. Bro, we have a big dragon, this useless beast, just going around letting people know, hey everybody, we're over here. Like, bro, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, we gotta take that thing out. Bro, it's gonna blow our cover. It's gonna give our location, bro. Yo, not gonna lie to you, like, if we ever tame the beast or whatever, bro, we gotta hold that thing till Thanksgiving. Like, respectfully, I don't want to be mean or whatever, but like, it gets to a point to where like you gotta know like your strengths and your weaknesses, bro. And our strength is, bro, we pop up on people, we creep up on people, yeah, bro. Bro, we walk on our tippy toes whenever you go to the battlefield. Like, bro, we're really stealthy, bro. We cannot have no big dragon or whatever giving away our location. We can't do that, bro. Respectfully.
From a primitive warrior world where survival of the fittest is key. There's your homebrew lore reason for why your guardsmen hit like orcs. Or, and bear with me on this next idea because it's really getting out there, run a game of Warhammer Fantasy or Age of Sigmar with your Imperial Guard army. Put the Emperor's finest in flak jackets and helmets and have them wield swords, spears, and halberds.
Y'all, give me 1 second, y'all. Alright, y'all, we back.
There's plenty of worlds in the Imperium that are at Renaissance level tech after all. Who's to say you can't make it work? When it comes to lore and modeling, the only limits you have with what you can run as an Imperial army are your imagination and what pieces you have to hand. And while yeah, that's true with every faction, most others are going to have some sort of theme you can't really get away from. The Eldars are always going to be space elves, the Orcs are always going to be green and brutish. But the Imperium is literally anything you can imagine a person being, giving it far more room for homebrew than most other factions.
Okay,
and I love that about it. Feel like I've been on the rather general subject of variety for a while now, so how about we switch things up a bit? Something else the Imperium does flawlessly are its aesthetics. You know the big one it has. Massive cathedrals on top of things that probably shouldn't have cathedrals on them, like titans. Armor so baroque it looks like it's about to come to life and yell at me to reform the Holy Roman Empire. And gold. So much gold. Enough gold to blind a man if he's in direct sunlight. There's probably people out there who can put it in a nice and fancy sounding academic work.
I'm gonna say this real quick. When it really comes down to it, like, and I think Pancrease don't work. I feel like sometimes he goes back and forth between like 40K and like like fantasy, right? And I think fantasy is like a big part of like his content, obviously. Y'all, I'm gonna just keep it real for what it is, and maybe this is just me, but like, I still don't understand like I kind of do. Like, I don't want to just sit up here and like and be like, oh, well, 40K is way more powerful than fantasy. But at the same time, I think I read this in some of y'all comments. Y'all said that there's a few characters in fantasy that will easily get rid of space marines or whatever. And I just can't imagine that. I'm going to just keep it real for what it is, y'all. Like, when you look at these space marines, they all armored up and everything like that. But then you look at some powerful characters or whatever in fantasy, and they just butt naked. Pause. But like, bro, they not wearing no armor. No, they just got an axe. Bro, they looking like they looking like little bitty Kratos or something. I just can't I can't imagine like somebody from like 40K or like a Marine losing a fort. Like, can I not talk? A Marine from 40K that's all armored up or whatever losing to. Hey, bro, people in 40K, bro, yo, they got the Glocks with the switches. People in 40K, they got guns, bolter guns, and everything. In fantasy, don't they still like cook with sticks and stuff like that? Like, there's no way. I can't imagine it.
Words to explain why the Imperium's aesthetic is so appealing, but I'm not one of those people, and I'm not about to use big words I barely understand to hit a page count. This is a YouTube video, not my college capstone, so I'll just use stupid words what us normal folk have. It's cool as hell. You've got the Sisters of Battle with their halos and plate mail power armor, Imperial Guard officers who couldn't decide if their dress uniform should look like it's from ancient Rome or the Renaissance, so they ripped off both. And who could forget the Space Marines? They're the face of 40k for a good reason. They're big, their helmets look like scowling faces, and while admittedly I'm predisposed towards Spartans as far as super soldiers go, there's a reason they're the face of 40k. Space Marine armor is some of the most well-designed stuff I've ever seen. From a modeling perspective, from a general design perspective, you just can't beat.
But also, I feel like they should show me off more. I feel like I don't know if like, you know, I don't know if y'all know or not, but I'm actually like the newest edition. I'm like the newest like update to war, like, you know, 40k. I've actually did like my voice lines and everything for a character, but I don't think, you know, Games Workshop told everybody yet. I mean, I feel like the announcement is coming through in like a week or two, but yeah, like I can't wait to, like, you know, they show my character off and stuff like that, yo. Like, it's
flip
gonna be
that
crazy.
now if you gotta, because it's gonna be one of the only times you hear me admit that every outfit in the Imperium's wardrobe just looks cool, from the most basic to the most outlandish. I gotta admit, I never thought I'd find candles to look badass, but the Imperium proved me wrong on it. Even something simple.
Hey, do y'all want the truth or y'all want me to lie to y'all? Which one do y'all want? Which one do you? I mean, I'm assuming that y'all want the truth, so I mean, I'm about to give it to y'all. This is ugly, respectfully though. I'm not even trying to, like, you know, be mean, but this is I see the vision. I do see what they're trying to, the melted candle wax, you know, onto the, like, I get it, but like it's not, you know, like I get it, but like I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like you get what I'm saying? Like I get it, but like I don't get it. Like I wouldn't wear this on my worst day, bro. Bro, bro, if I was in my bed, bro, like sick to my stomach, bro, respectfully, I would never wear something like this. Bro, no lie, bro, I'd rather go out and hunt a band. Bro, I'd rather go out, bro, and kill an orangutan than wear something like this, bro, and show it off to the girls. Respectfully. Like, I'd rather go out, bro, and like try to catch a fly or something with my bare hands than wear this, bro. Like, no lie. This is ugly. Respectfully though, you know.
I never thought I'd find candles to look badass, but the Imperium proved me
They
wrong
don't look
on
cool
it.
to
Even
me.
something simple
They
like
look
the
like,
stand-
bro, like, respectfully, they look like if you like pour like a whole gallon of milk on like a candle.
Thought I'd
That don't
find
look too
candles to
good.
look badass, but the Imperium proved me wrong on it. Even something simple like the standard guardsmen, well, yeah, just ripped straight from Starship Troopers, look pretty great. But back to the Space Marines real quick, because oh my lord, the Dark Angels. I understand a lot of people think Custodies are the peak of Imperium aesthetics. I really do. They're all gold and the most outlandishly designed armor you've ever seen, perfect for 40k. But dude, just look at the Dark Angels. I cannot get over the power armor and robes, man. Solely based off their aesthetic, they're the best Space Marines, and it's not even close. Come on now, you know there's no competition. And the funny thing is, it's not exactly a complicated.
You know, I respect the Glaze, but we all know who's the best. Respectfully, we all know who's the best looking. The Space Marines who got the best looking drip. Everybody named Mama know who it is. I know you guys are afraid to say who it is because you know that like it kind of like it makes you wrestle with your ego a little bit. Like, but you know who's the best. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no anything. You know who the. Come on, man. Like, stop. Like,
Design choice. Put robes on a dude in power armor, that's it. That's something pretty great about Warhammer overall, though, to be fair. A whole ton of its concepts are just X with Y attached, and yet it still looks great. That's not to say they only have cathedral-looking stuff. The Mechanicus is a part of the Imperium, technically kinda sorta, and their aesthetic's my favorite. Wires and diodes all come together in a way that looks both incredibly advanced and like something I could do in my garage at the same time. Or fellas like Catacan. Yeah, they're just Rambo. Yeah, they're not original in the slightest, but who cares? They look awesome, and that's as much thought as I care to put into the matter. Awesome in concept anyways. GW update Catacan, please. This man is melting before my eyes. Moving on from the highly critical analysis of their stuff look good, I have to admit something that outside of the context of 40k doesn't make me look good. Which is why I will preface that this is all within the context of 40k. I love xenophobia. I love blind faith. I love it when the government kills billions of its own citizens, and I love it when the concept of hate is the core of a civilization. Because you know what? None of this is real. There's the takeaway of this video, both for
facts. But there's some people who think this is real. You know that? There's some people who take this so seriously and think that all this is real to the point to where they will like go crazy on you and they'll just drop full novels in the comment section down below despising their hate for you. And it really makes you think, you're like, wait a minute, like, wow, like Like, dang, people are really like, not even, I don't even want to sit up here and insult people who are even hardcore fans of Warhammer. Because people who are hardcore fans of Warhammer don't do this. They're not weirdos and in comments they be like, "Oh my god, well, but you know, the lion, he'll actually destroy you. You know, he'll kill you." Da-da-da-da. I'm like, yo, you first of all, you're glazing another man. Pause. You're glazing you are a grown man glazing another grown man, bro. Get your life together. That's number one. Number two, you know that the lion's not real, right? You know the lion don't know you, right? You know the lion don't know you, right? You do know that the lion is fake, right? You do know that he does not know you. Point blank, period. I don't know why you defending that man like this, bro. Like, I understand a lot of listen. We troll, right? I troll my audience trolls me. But you know, I like that relationship. There's a few loose screws out there, y'all, who really take this like to serious. Like that, like the lion is really a real person. He's not real, bro. As a matter of fact, I'll roast him. I can roast that man every single day for an entire year. Literally, I'll do that. Just to piss you off, I'll do that. But there's some people who really just like, and again, I don't want to insult the Warhammer. I don't want to insult like the Warhammer fan base and say that, oh well, this is how most Warhammer fan base are. No, they're not. No, they're not. A lot of Warhammer like diehard fans, whatever. They're normal people. They have jobs or they have this career, whatever. And they just love Warhammer really, really, really much. Like really that much, whatever. Like that's it. Like
those of you who defend the Imperium because you think its ideology is something to aspire to, and to those of you who hate Imperium fans because you assume everyone who likes the Imperium goose steps down the street. It's not real. And in the context of it both...
Thank you, bro, Pan. Oh my god, bro. Bro, thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Listen to this again. Listen to this.
Everyone who likes the Imperium goose steps down the street. It's not real.
It's not.
And in the context of it both not being real and all being in service of toys, it's metal as hell. I've complained about Captain Artemis of the Death Watch simply responding with yes when asked if he would allow his entire civilization to be doomed just to spite the Eldar. That, I think, is very stupid given what was happening in that situation. But in just about every other scenario, that attitude is pure gold. Like when a Tau Watercast ambassador was talking to an Ultramarine, going all, ooh, you wouldn't hurt a defenseless woman, would you? What would your forefathers think? And then Cato Sicarius just comes barreling in, says yes, and puts his foot through her chest. That is hardcore right there.
Swiss, bring me the list. Swiss flight, bring me the list right now, bro. Swiss, oh Pan, bro. You was just cooking too. You was cooking for like 2 minutes straight. Swiss, come here, bro. I hate to have to do this. I hate it. Dang, bro. Dang. Bring me the list, bro. You heard what he just said. Right pancreas no work again. 2 times in one video is diabolical. Pan, that was some school threat-ish, what you just said.
Says yes and puts his foot through her chest. That is hardcore right there.
He's talking about something that's hardcore. Bro, that makes me want to put his name on the list for the 3rd time. 3 times in one video, pancreas no work, that might be a record.
Also incredibly funny. Is that something to aspire?
Put his name on the list again. 3 times. He said it was hardcore and funny. Swiss flight. Put pancreas no work's name on the list 3 times.
To if we ever meet aliens in real life, I'm gonna take a bold stance here and say, no, we shouldn't dropkick aliens to death. But the Tau aren't real. None of the factions are. So when some Imperial Guard commander gives a 5-hour-long speech about how he's gonna grind every Eldar in their craft world to dust, it's awesome. Why shouldn't he? This is a universe where how much gold you have on you determines how safe you are from demons. Why are you trying to take it seriously? I'm not justifying the Imperium from an in-universe perspective. Again, Eldar fan here, and more to the point, someone who can read GW's official statements on if the Imperium is evil or not. I think everything they do is incredibly moronic at best, and downright evil at worst. But come on now, fellas. Space Alexander the Great's conquering the galaxy in the name of the dead god he worships, and anything who gets in his way is automatically a bad guy by virtue of getting in his way. way. I'm not here for complex debates on morality. I'm here to watch the Minotaurs bulldoze an orphanage because they need to make room for a cathedral to house all the cool stuff they stole. Suffer not the heretic to live. That line could give someone food poisoning because it's raw as hell. It's a fun headspace to put yourself into, assuming again you have the processing power to go, none of these people are real and I'm playing with very expensive action figures. It's why my favorite 40k games are things like Dawn of War and Space Marine. You don't get paragraph after paragraph about whether or not the Imperium is evil and if the Emperor is loving or not, or if blah blah blah, my name is Lorgar and blah blah blah, the true salvation of humanity lies with the 4 versions of Satan.
Real quick. Let me just say this real quick. I know there's a lot of people in the comments that was like, oh, King Indy, every time this woman pops up on the screen, you always be lusting after her, bro. It's not funny. Who said it was funny? Hey, clown. Who said it was funny? Because evidently, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to get her number. See, that's the difference between me and you. I'm a doer. You're not a doer. And this ain't to everybody that's watching. I'm talking about the people that's in the video that was like, oh, but whenever you were lusting after that woman, that's actually not funny, bro. Like, she's actually not even... Bro. Bro. Just because she don't like you does not mean you got to project that onto me, bro. Just because she's not feeling you does not mean she's not going to be feeling me. Just because she thinks that you whack does not think that she think that I'm whack. You get that, bro? We're two different... we're cut from different cloths, yo. Respectfully. Oh, my goodness. Because last time I checked, whenever I really pulled up on her in real life, she was wearing the same fit. I said, hey, baby, like, you see my videos before? She said, yeah, I see your videos. She had like a little accent. Yeah, I see your videos. I'm like, you might like get your number? Like, so I boom, pull out the phone, bring, put the number in. And I don't know if you know, but like to the person that was saying that, oh, like, it's not cool or whatever to be lusting after her, da-da-da-da. Yeah, we got a date on Saturday, bro. Yeah, 9 p.m. Stop playing with me. See, I get what I want. Yo, what P. Diddy said? I get what I want. Yo, Whoopi, yo. Hey, Whoopi, yo, he said, I always get what I want. I get what I want. Let me chill out, bro. Let me chill out.
You get a space crusader screaming in the face of aliens he hates for being different, and those aliens are returning the favor. It's goofy, it's fun, and it's the Imperial guarantee. And if nothing else, rooting for the bad guys is a lot easier in a setting where everyone is the bad guy. But having said that, the fact you can take the Imperium novel seriously too can also be fun. I mean, I'll freely admit that I don't enjoy taking 40k too seriously, and I'll happily make fun of things like the Horus Heresy for it. But here's an olive branch for me to you if you do like to try and take Imperium novels seriously. Take the Horus Heresy. Remove any idea of it being part of a pre-existing setting. Just pretend it exists in a vacuum. No one can pump out 60 plus books about a setting if all of them are bad, not even GW. They've cut book series before for being horrible, just ask Yanari fans, so clearly taking the Imperium seriously can end up with some worthwhile stuff, which is neat. There's room for goofballs like me and those of you who genuinely take things like the Primarch seriously. Not that I'm ever going to stop poking fun at it, but hey, you don't have to take what I say seriously. Moving on from a subject that'll get angry Twitter notifications, I want to talk about something a bit more nebulous. Potential. The Imperium has more potential than anyone else in the setting for what you can do with them narratively. Again, Eldar fan here. As much as it pains me to say it, there's really only 3 major routes I can see them going down. They can continue to barely hold on to existence across the Craft Worlds and Maiden Worlds, they can somehow get a miraculous resurgence of their empire, or they can finally all die. They're cool narratives, and the specifics can have thousands of different routes to be taken, but that's what I think the overall options are. The Imperium, though? Tons of different routes to take. Personally, I'm a big fan of the theme of decay in 40k as far as the Imperium goes, so I think it'd be cool if it just shattered into thousands of mini empires. Everyone hates each other, the Xenos are taking the chance to rise up, fun times all around. But that's hardly the only option. You could officially split it into two empires with a great rift, having the side with the Astronomicon being like the Eastern Roman Empire, and the side without it, the Western Roman Empire. It could have a full-on resurgence, which while I wouldn't find that particularly satisfying, that's just me. Or what I'm actually coming around to is completing the comparison to Warhammer Fantasy's Empire of Man, and officially making it the Holy Roman Empire in space. Have all these technically independent nation-states forming a greater whole against outside threats, but constantly squabbling amongst each other for greater power. The state that holds Terra can be like Austria, Macra can be Bohemia, or whichever HRE states you find the coolest, I guess. Specifics don't matter, because this isn't a scenario video, I just think it's awesome how many differing routes the Imperium can narratively take. Hell, you really want to get out there? Have the High Lords and Guilliman declare that the Emperor, in his newfound divinity, is no longer the Emperor. He's moved on from the mortal coil, and thus someone who remains behind will take the position. You can fit that into any of these scenarios. Imagine High Lords...
Oh, so like propaganda. Okay, bet. So just like a bunch of lies and just lying. Okay.
Turning Primarchs all vying for the seat of Emperor. You can bring back the arguments of the Horus Heresy about mankind being ruled by either demigods or normal people, and combine that with any of the above scenarios for extra fun. If the Imperium stays together, returning Loyalist Primarchs can argue that them returning means they should once again be in charge, while Imperial nobles argue that it was the average man who held things together for thousands of years, and that shouldn't change. Kinda what happened when Guilliman had to face that little High Lord's coup, but you could go further with it. If it splits in two, you could have the Primarchs rule one half while the regular man rules the other, and if it shatters into pieces, it's a free-for-all. Some states band together under the children of their god, while others take the chance to finally free themselves of imperial rule and all this emperor nonsense. I'm fully aware that the likelihood of any one of these happening is incredibly low, but my point is again, there's so much potential in the Imperium's narrative for cool things like that to happen. The only other faction I think truly rivals the Imperium in this department is the Tau, the newcomers on the block who can expand
Oh, I forgot about the Tau, bro. I feel like, bro, they're so under the radar. Like, if I'm not doing a video about them, I feel like I kind of forget about them. Like, respectfully. Like, I don't want to, like, you know, come off as, like, oh, like, they're too little, whatever. It's just, like, I don't know, man. Like, they really just go under, like, under the radar for me.
A number of ways and whose destiny is anything but set in stone. I just don't think they're quite there yet. They've still got a lot of empire growing to do in my eyes before they can do anything truly out there. But I'm also happy to be proven wrong in that department. And to cap us off, one final note to end on, the last thing I love about the Imperium of Man, ripping on it. Because you know what? It's fun to make fun of the Imperium.
Facts. It's probably like, I mean, I would say, you know what? No. I was going to put that at like number one. I'll probably say like other Primarchs, like to make fun of other Primarchs and to crack jokes about other Primarchs. That's probably like number one for me. And then the Imperium is like number two. Like, I'm talking about just, like, I feel like I could, like, you know, crack jokes and, like, stuff about that, about anything. I'm not trying to, like, you know, flex how funny I am or whatever, but it's just, like, I feel like it's kind of really easy to crack jokes about other Primarchs, and it's really, like, easy to crack jokes about, like, the Imperium, I think. Like, for me, that's how it is, you know?
Making fun of it for being inefficient, for being every single horrible ideology in history, and the new ones we haven't invented combined into one, for being so unbelievably stupid in every single aspect you can think of that it loops back around to being cool. It's endless material. And I say this in a completely loving way. Honest to God, Emperor. I've heard it said before that you don't criticize something you hate, or at least not as intensely as I feel like I do sometimes. I love the Imperium, and I love ragging on it. Yeah, there's things that in my head I would change about it, but that's just in my head. I don't trust anything that comes out of my head, and neither should you. It's just fun to make fun of it. Because you know what making fun of the Imperium and other factions gets you? Some fun nerd arguments online. And those go two ways, both of them good. Either I have a fun conversation, or someone tells me to kill myself, which is the highest honor I can receive. It's the kind of
Facts, bro. Because I'm going to be honest with you, bro, you know what? I don't even look at it like these hate comments, y'all. I know, like, I bring some of them up in the comments or whatever. And it's not because, like, it's affecting me. It's literally just because, like, maybe like a few years ago when because like a few years ago I barely, you know, got comments or whatever, but like now I get like some comments, and I think I'm just grateful for like my support. Obviously, like, this is the internet. This isn't heaven. Like I always say to people, like, when people ask me, like, oh, you know, why does bad things happen, or why do you know, why do good people go through this? Why do, you know, innocent people go through this? Why do people hate on each other? Why do this and this and that? Like when people ask me like stuff like that about like a lot of bad things happening, I'm like, bro, like we live on earth. Like it's not like we're not in heaven yet, bro. Like when we're in heaven, everything can be perfect, but bro, we live on earth, bro. We live on earth where you could just be doing something absolutely amazing and somebody can just come through and just hate on it. You know what I mean? So like at the end of the day, like I look at hate comments as like I don't look at that as like a thing towards me. I kind of like look at that person and be like, dang, man, like imagine what state of mind you have to be in to type something like that. You know what I'm saying? Imagine what that person's going through. And this is why I don't really even try to, I try not to, all right, y'all, I'm not perfect, but I try not to respond to hate comments, y'all, because people who really, jot down hate comments, I feel like low key, they're probably going through something. So this is why I don't even try to, like it's so easy too. It's very easy to engage with, you know, a lot of these hate comments and like, you know, roast them back or whatever. But then you're like, you know what, man, like just let it go. They're probably going through something. They're most likely going through something because a happy person would never comment this down. And like an actual happy person would never, you know, jot any of this down, you know. And it doesn't matter what somebody say, like, and I think I heard like some people say that they just go on the internet to troll and hate on people and rage bait, whatever. And there's a difference between trolling and like, you know, cracking jokes and having fun than actually, you know, telling somebody to go do something to themselves. You know, that's a clear difference, you know. And if you do that every single day, something is wrong in your life, you know, because if you were a happy person, you couldn't even fathom saying that to somebody else, if that makes sense. So
Fun of, I wish people would celebrate more. Not one born out of malice, but out of enjoyment. I want more of this kind of stuff. I tell you your failing Imperium will fall at the hands of my Wraith Guard, you tell me you'll kill him a second time, and we have fun playing a game of Warhammer. And of course
yeah,
there's more reasons, but those are my main reasons for why the Imperium is awesome. It's a horrible dystopian nightmare of a civilization that anyone who says they want to live in it or aspire to it is a goddamn fool. It's evil, it chews through people like popcorn, brutal in every sense.
and we know this. There be some Diddy parties going on. Yeah, we know. We know. We know, bro. Because the Imperium ain't just like, no. I understand the Imperium want to be like they want to be the good guys, even though they're not. Bro, we do know that, like, downstairs in those basements, bro. Yeah, we know what be going on, bro. Because last time I checked, when I was actually in the Imperium and I was visiting, and somebody was giving me like a little Imperium tour, I accidentally stepped in baby oil. Yeah. I stepped in baby oil. I'm like, yo, wait, yo, is this water? Y'all looked around, there was no leak, no nothing. The tour guy, he was like, He said, oh, that's baby oil. So where'd that come from? Riddle me that.
Of the word, and I love it. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war, propagated in part by an empire that doesn't even understand why it's fighting anymore or why it's so wrong. And when
Shout out to Pancreas No Work, man, for this video. I think this is basically the end. Let me see. Oh yes, that's conclusion. Comment down below, man. What do you guys think about this video? What do you guys think about the Imperium? Keep it real. Keep it completely real. What do y'all think about it in the comment section down below? Obviously, I don't think it's a good place. I think it's freaky deaky. I think there's a lot of nasty, diabolical things going on down there, but maybe that's just me. Other than that, man, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like the video. I'm gonna share the mix them out. Peace out, everybody.